What if the picture-perfect Hollywood romance you grew up admiring was actually held together by silence, secrets, and one heartbreaking promise never to look back? Today, we dive deep into the hidden cracks beneath the glitter. It's the saga of Lee Majors, the bionic hero who could outrun a speeding car, and Farrah Fawcett, the sun-blonde icon whose smile sold 12 million posters. They dazzled the world, then vanished from each other's lives in a storm of fame, betrayal, and rumors that still refuse to die. Buckle up, because every chapter that follows peels back another layer most fans never knew existed, and the last revelation may change the way you see Hollywood love stories forever. Lee Majors entered life as Harvey Lee Yeary, orphaned before he could form a memory. Raised in quiet Middlesboro, Kentucky, he learned early to bury pain behind silence, a habit that later became his armor on red carpets. A broken back killed his football dreams at Eastern Kentucky University, nudging him toward acting. Within 3 years of landing in Los Angeles, his granite jaw and unflinching stare earned him Heath Barkley on the Big Valley, and the industry stamped him reliable, never flashy. He liked it that way. Attention on the work, not the wounds. But that self-made fortress would soon meet a woman who lived for open skies, not locked doors. Farrah Fawcett grew up in a house where Friday night football and Sunday church were sacred, yet everyone knew the middle child had something extra. Voted one of America's 10 most beautiful college co-eds, she still hesitated when Hollywood called. Her parents urged caution. Farrah craved adventure. Within weeks of arriving in Los Angeles, cameras loved her as much as friends did. Photographers said she made every set feel like summer. What no one saw was the grit beneath the grin, a resolve to be more than decoration. That resolve would later clash head-on with Lee's old-school view of marriage. Late 60s Hollywood partied every night, but insiders still talk about the evening Lee and Farrah first locked eyes. Friends say conversation flowed as if they'd been trading stories forever. He saw warmth and independence. She saw strength and steadiness. Dates followed. So did tabloid headlines, crowning them beauty meets brawn. Yet behind the flashbulbs, they kept things ordinary. Taco Bell runs, lazy beach walks, kind notes tucked into suitcases. For a moment, the machine of fame seemed harmless. July 28, 1973. Lee and Farrah exchanged vows at the Hotel Bel Air, guests sworn to secrecy until the press finally sniffed it out weeks later. He was about to start the $6 million man. She was busy with commercials, but not yet a superstar. They made a pact. No matter how crazy work became, they'd eat dinner together 3 nights a week. It sounded simple enough. By season 2 of Lee's sci-fi smash, that promise was already in danger. Lee's Colonel Steve Austin ran faster, saw farther, and fought harder than any TV hero. Viewers couldn't get enough. Producers demanded longer shooting days. Majors, grateful yet exhausted, powered through 12-hour sets and endless press junkets. Each late wrap meant one less shared meal with Farrah. Still, he asked no favors. Football discipline told him to gut it out, unaware that his wife's trajectory was about to rocket far beyond even bionic speed. When ABC unveiled Charlie's Angels in 1976, Farrah's feathered hair practically got its own billing. Overnight, she was on every magazine and late-night monologue. Brands lined up, paparazzi camped outside, but the real supernova was that crimson one-piece poster, 12 million copies slapped onto teenage walls worldwide. She'd wanted acting respect. Instead, she got icon status too big to control. Lee tried to cheer from the sidelines, yet their schedules now overlapped less than lunar eclipses. Friends recall Lee phoning Farrah's producers, asking if her call time could shift so the couple might share evenings twice a week. Farrah declined. She feared looking dependent, a mere Mrs. Majors. That choice stung. For the first time, the taciturn Kentucky native admitted to buddies He felt invisible in his own marriage. Silence, once his shield, became a prison. Ryan O'Neal was already Hollywood royalty, comfortable in chaos. He and Lee had swapped jokes at charity events for years. Then paparazzi splashed photos of Ryan and Farrah holding hands at premieres, while her divorce papers still waited for signatures. Lee read the rumors the same morning as grocery store shoppers. Betrayal is bad. Betrayal served on newsstands is worse. Rather than rage, Lee vanished. No interviews, no countersuits, no tell-all. Muted agony became front-page mystery. By February 1982, the marriage was legally dead. Farrah dove into issue-driven TV movies, many praised for grit. Ryan and Farrah's romance ran on and off like faulty neon, generating endless column inches. Lee poured energy into The Fall Guy, a stuntman adventure that, ironically, cast him as someone who jumps, crashes, and gets back up. Off-camera, though, he stopped jumping. Friends noticed parties ended earlier, phone calls shorter. Some believe a part of him decided emotions were a luxury he couldn't afford. In 2002, a mutual confidant suggested a coffee, no cameras, no entourage, just Lee and Farrah clearing years of static. Farrah was ready. Lee paused, then declined politely. "Too many ghosts," he told the friend. To reopen that box risked dumping pain across everybody's living room. The opportunity floated away like smoke, leaving only speculation. Could closure have healed them both? We'll never know. Farrah's 2006 diagnosis of a rare cancer rewired her priorities. She filmed candid video diaries, later aired as Farrah's story, hoping to destigmatize her disease. Behind the scenes, director-friend Craig Nevius now claims Ryan O'Neal recut footage to hide Farrah's use of a colostomy bag, fearing it might dent her glamorous image, a claim O'Neal's camp never addressed. The allegation reignited debates about who controlled Farrah's narrative and why. Through it all, Lee stayed silent, monitoring updates from afar. Friends say he watched every broadcast alone. During Farrah's early treatments, a rumor surfaced in tabloid columns. Lee Majors had left her a late-night voicemail that simply said, "Praying for you. Call if you need me." Neither star confirmed it, but two close associates swear the call happened. One claims Farrah saved the message and replayed it when chemo sessions felt endless. Another insists Lee deleted the audio from his own phone the moment he hung up, worried the press might subpoena his records. Whether myth or moment of compassion, fans debate that voicemail to this day. Some see it as proof Lee never stopped caring. Others call it wishful Hollywood lore. Yet the story lingers because it fits the pattern. Majors reaching out quietly, then retreating before anyone could turn tenderness into headlines. Farrah passed away aged 62. Networks replayed her smile. Fans left daisies on the Walk of Fame. Reporters chased Lee for comment. He offered 9 words. She was an angel on earth and now an angel forever. Then nothing more. He skipped the funeral, sparing headlines another circus. Insiders say the brevity was not coldness, but self-defense. Opening up risked drowning in memory. December 8, 2023, Ryan O'Neal died of congestive heart failure at 82. Obituaries revisited his fiery bonds with Farrah and Lee. Some pundits wondered if Lee might finally speak. He did not. The world, once convinced of a love triangle's villain, reconsidered. Maybe silence was never spite. Maybe it was survival. 2024's big screen reboot, The Fall Guy, featured a mid-credits cameo by none other than Lee Majors, sharing laid-back laughs with Ryan Gosling. In press interviews, Lee called Gosling gracious and said the set felt like good vibes all around. Fans cheered. Critics noted his eyes still carried hidden stories. The appearance sparked fresh curiosity. Would Lee finally write a memoir? He chuckled. "Nah, I'm a talker, not a writer." The irony hung in the air. He's spoken less about his most dramatic chapter than anyone alive. Hollywood lets go of its legends in strange ways.
sometimes with a rubber stamp, sometimes under a gavel. In 2013, 4 years after Farrah's passing and decades after her split from Lee, more than 300 items from her estate hit a Beverly Hills auction block. Newspaper ads promised glamour, history, and rare personal treasures. Bidders arrived curious, wallets ready. They fingered handwritten letters, TV scripts, even the surfboard from Charlie's Angels. Yet the lots that drew buzz were the love-locked artifacts. Wedding photographs, a cake knife engraved Lee, Heart, Farrah, 1973, and a delicate gold bracelet rumored to be Lee's first anniversary gift. Whispers floated that Majors himself, or an agent acting quietly, might place proxy bids to reclaim pieces of a life he'd tucked away. Reporters staked out the hotel ballroom, scanning every paddle for clues. If Lee was bidding, he was invisible, a ghost among giddy collectors. When the hammer fell, the bracelet went to an unnamed phone buyer for triple its estimate. That single sale sparked endless speculation. Was the anonymous winner merely a nostalgic fan, or the bionic man reaching back through time? Lee never confirmed, of course. He granted no interviews, issued no statements. Friends said he spent the weekend at his Tennessee ranch, fixing a squeaky gate and grilling burgers. But insiders swear a small parcel arrived at his door 2 weeks later, insured for 6 figures, and signed only "with gratitude." Whether myth or fact, the story fits the pattern. Lee Majors reclaiming memories the world thought he'd abandoned, and then sealing them behind the same quiet walls that protected his heart. Lee Majors and Farrah Fawcett lived a tale larger than any weekly episode. Proof that fame can magnify love until it blazes too bright to hold. Their split birthed rumors, their silence birthed legends, and decades later, people still debate motives neither party fully explained. Lee's recent cameo and Ryan O'Neal's passing remind us that Hollywood history keeps rewriting itself, one obituary or post-credit stinger at a time. Yet the core remains: a quiet Kentucky athlete and a radiant Texas dreamer, once promised Tuesday night dinners forever. Schedules shattered that promise, but not the imprint they left on each other, or on us. And consider this: everything we know comes from what little Lee and Farrah allowed the world to see. Imagine the memories sitting in boxes, the letters never mailed, the photographs tucked away in attics. Those silent souvenirs hint that truth is always messier and more human than headlines suggest. So next time you see that red swimsuit poster or hear the bionic jump sound, remember the real cost behind the glamour. Some hearts break off camera, some vows dissolve in silence, and sometimes the most powerful line in a life story is just 9 words long. What other golden couples hide unseen cracks? Stick around, there's always another secret waiting to surface.